Synchronizing audio and video. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. Hi everybody. Today's video we're going to talk about travel food budget and what you can do to cut your budget down, and some tips that are some things that we do. We have found that if you try to travel and eat out at restaurants all 3 meals a day, it can get real expensive real fast. Hi everybody, I'm John and this is Miriam of John and Miriam's Travel Vlog, and we're coming to you today from the main studio of the world headquarters of John and Miriam's Travel Vlog.
John, we're in our spare bedroom.
We're coming to you from the spare bedroom that we use as a studio. Well, a guy can dream. We've experienced that if you try to eat 3 meals a day at a restaurant, it could easily be $100 to $150 a day.
Or more.
Or more. Plus the problem is you're getting too much food. Portion sizes are really, really large.
And it's unhealthy.
And it's unhealthy to eat that kind of food on a regular basis. I have found after a couple of trips, after about 3 days, I don't want to eat anymore, ever. One of the options is to eat fast food, and we have decided we generally don't eat fast food. Now, I will occasionally, when I'm in a hurry on the road, grab a quick sandwich somewhere, but generally we don't do that.
We really try to limit processed food, period. It may be cheap, but it makes you wonder about the long-term cost of poor health.
And it's really not that much cheaper. If you look at the cost of eating fast food, 3 meals a day, you're probably still going to be spending $50 to $75 a day. And one of the other problems of traveling, you could be in an area where there simply isn't much of a selection for your dining options.
Yeah, we've run into that before. When we were in Abington, restaurants were closed during the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday time frame, and we had to ad lib, and it was difficult.
So what do? You got to eat.
Well, I think breakfast is the easiest meal to plan for because there's so many options that can be healthy. I like to put together containers of oats and chia seeds, things like that. Bring a little carton of almond milk, and it's easy to make overnight oats. Add some raisins or blueberries or sliced banana, and with a shot of cinnamon and vanilla, and you're good to go. So that's a healthy start to the day, and really cheap and doesn't take much space to store.
We've sort of developed a technique where we will try to eat something simple. Well, the variable is breakfast. We'll often bring our own food. Sometimes we're staying at a hotel, or you could be staying at a hotel, which will have a decent breakfast buffet. Sometimes these hotels that offer breakfast just give you a cellophane wrapped pastry, some juice, and coffee. That doesn't work for me.
We're big fans of Lara bars, the individual containers of almond butter or peanut butter. You can, pack a bagel and a piece of fruit, and you're good to go. There are lots of different options that are tasty and do the trick.
So beyond breakfast, one of the techniques that we've developed is, since we're on the road and we do like to eat good food, we'll stop at local restaurants.
Yeah, so we find that we can splurge on lunch, and often we'll have leftovers that we could share for a lighter dinner. But we really like to eat out in the area that we're visiting. It's a way to kind of get truly the flavor of the area, and to enjoy whatever's the specialty of that particular region. So it's I think food is an important way to explore, and so we don't want to diminish the experience or the opportunity.
Right, because that's part of the traveling, is the enjoying of the food, the culture, and the people along the way. So we don't want to stay isolated and just eat in our hotel room.
So dinner can be a little bit trickier. But especially in the summer months, we don't mind building a meal around leftovers or snacks with some cheese and maybe some veggies or fruit from the local farmer's market. Of course, a nice bottle of wine helps too. But we're content with a picnic-style supper.
Now, one of our favorite stores to shop at along the way is Walmart. I know Walmart gets a lot of bad press, but Walmart has a lot of things going for it. Number one, they're everywhere. The layout and of the floor plan is always the same, and they have a pretty good selection, and the prices are low. So we can get pretty good food at reasonable prices, and we can be in and out in a pretty short period of time.
Yeah, it's surprising the inventory they have. It's not unusual to find organic or even gourmet items. They have a nice selection of cheeses and olives and bread and crackers, things of that nature, nuts, other snack foods. So, and those things are easy to pack and carry with you.
If you're looking at something quick from Walmart, you got to be careful if you're looking for the canned or packaged foods. Often very high in processed carbohydrates, processed sugar, and sodium. And a lot of folks in our age group can't tolerate that much sodium.
Once we were traveling on the Eastern Shore and we met a couple who were actually living on their sailboat. And one of the recommendations they made, which I thought was a great one, was that whenever they're cooking meals for the two of them at home, they just make a little extra and put it in the freezer. So when they have an opportunity to go out on a trip, they just grab some of the frozen meals and carry them with them. And we've done that a couple of times when we were able to, we had facilities to pack a cooler or what have you. And it does make it easy, and you save a lot of money by pulling out the good old camp stove and warming some soup or stew or curry on top of the camp stove. It's filling and tasty, and again allows you to splurge more during the lunch meal.
Absolutely. And speaking of the camp stove, maybe it's a good time to talk about some of the equipment that we actually take with us when we travel on a regular basis. Well, that wasn't the most efficient segue in the world, but we'll go with it. All right, first thing we'll talk about are the consumables that go with me everywhere I go all the time. I got some tea, some coffee, and a Laura bar. This stays in my backpack no matter where I'm at. I've got that at least now. Obviously for longer trips I'll pack more, but just out on a bike riding the Spyder around, I'll take that. This is my stove. This is the fuel tank for the stove, and this is the stove. You can pick up the stoves at any sporting goods store, to include Walmart. And to show you how compact that's the stove. And I put a little cap back on the fuel cartridge there. Always carry a liter of water with me. Sporks, these are half fork and half spoon. Carry two, one for me, one for Miriam. Pocket knife, wine bottle opener, regular mechanical can opener, and two metal cups. One for me, one for Miriam. And why metal? A, they won't break. B, I can sit them on the stove and make my coffee or snack or something of that nature. So they always go with me. Next are the things that go with me on longer trips. Start off with the, I've got a couple of cook pots here, camping cook pots, non-stick. A little pot holder to go with those. Two bowls for eating out of. A little tiny spatula. Small cutting board. And two small plastic plates. And the other consumable that I carry with me when I travel is a product called Camp Suds. Camp Suds is pretty much a universal detergent. You can use it for cleaning your dishes, taking a shower with, washing your hair, doing laundry. It's a great universal detergent to carry with you when you travel. All right, back to you, John, in the studio. Now we're going to talk about some beverages to have with your meals. I'm a big fan of coffee. If you've seen many of my videos, you know I have a thing about carrying coffee with me everywhere I go. I've had hot coffee in some interesting remote places. I'm a big fan of the Starbucks brand just because the coffee quality is so good.
Yeah, me too. It's a little bit expensive, but it's good quality, tasty, and I can only drink decaf, so it takes the worry out of a situation. Some places, particularly when we stay at Airbnbs, they may not always have decaf coffee available, so it's easy just to slide a few packets in the bag and we're good to go.
And if you are a decaf coffee drinker and you're considering picking up some instant decaf, you might remember the first version of decaf coffee, instant decaf coffee, was known as Sena. The process to decaffeinate a coffee bean is pricey. So often they will use the inexpensive variety of coffee to make the instant decaf coffee. Starbucks does not. They use the same high-grade coffee that they use in their coffee shops. You pay a little bit more, but it's worth it because you get the flavor and the quality.
We always carry a selection of teas with us too. So we're ready to go again with John's camp stove anytime the need arises. And water. I carry a hydro flask of water, and that's really my drink of the day.
Now, when you're in the planning stage for a trip, it's a good idea to go ahead, like Miriam said, and prepare some extra meals, freeze them ahead of time, or spend some time in your local grocery store just sort of getting an idea of things you can take with you to prepare a meal on the road. Now, we don't actually cook in the hotel rooms because I think most hotels would have a real problem with that. So basically what we do is heating up meals and boiling water. We seldom, if ever, actually cook a meal from scratch in a hotel room.
Yeah, never.
So spend some time in your local grocery store and see what they have to offer. They got plenty of fresh produce, fresh fruits, vegetables, some packaged meals. Like I said, they're a little high in sodium, but they're pretty tasty. They're maybe good to have one or two of those in your kit just in case.
We're sure you have some great ideas for how to reduce your food budget for travel as well, and hope that you'll leave us some comments below. We can learn from each other. Thanks.
So if you like this video and you want to see more like it, please give us a thumbs up.
And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.
Thanks for watching, and you all take care.